the daily financial news. It is June 12th, Friday, June 12th. So, pretty exciting day. Yesterday kind of was a gut check if you're in the stock market. How are you an investor, speculator, gambler? I think a lot of folks probably had their stop losses hit or tripped yesterday, which stop losses is a good thing. It protects you on the way down. But today it's an update, all right, at least early in the morning. And one thing that I am thinking, just kind of watching the stocks that seem to be having the largest percentage swings, airlines, cruise lines, frankly, Hertz, Chesapeake, two bankrupt and probably worthless common stocks, is I am wondering if the amateurs, the retail investors, are being played. And I don't know how to follow this. I don't know how to test this, but this is what I am seeing, and I wanted to see what you think. I think the pros, or whoever you want to call them, the pros, sophisticated, whatever you want to call them, I think they're bidding up a basket of stocks pre-market, pre-open. That is causing dashboards in the retail investors' windows to show spikes, large percentage gains. And then when the market opens, they continue to buy, bid up the stock, and then they sell by 1 o'clock. Bless me. Sorry about that. So I'm just wondering if that is a trend we're going to see, because airlines down 15, 16% yesterday. They're up 10 to 15% today. It just seems like there is something other than changing business circumstances going on. This does feel like you're literally walking up to the roulette wheel and betting red or black. And again, I'm wondering if the sophisticated investors are just sitting there bidding it up pre-market, goose it up some more. They call it, pump and dump, right? They're running it early, and then by noon or lunchtime, they're selling as more retail investors come in. Because again, I can see the retail investors' screens on their desks, and it's all, again, and I'm saying this as someone who did this 20 years ago. So I think it might be happening now. So it will be interesting to watch. On that front, Hertz. Hertz is bankrupt. Very likely their common stock is worthless. But given what's going on in the stock market, Hertz is asking the bankruptcy judge if they can issue $1 billion in shares. They're like, hey, we'll take it. If people want to play with our stock, there's no harm in that. We'll issue more common stock. Our stuff's already worthless. Why don't you take it? And heck, $1 billion, pretty helpful, right? So I think that tells you all you need to know if you're playing in Hertz. Is a bankrupt company's like, shoot, let's sell some more worthless paper. I mean, come on, folks. Be careful. Be careful. Looks like Boeing is going to have to delay the Supermax again. There was some talk about them shooting for a summertime approval. They have delayed it and asked a couple of parts suppliers to back off production of parts. So that event doesn't seem to be behind Boeing just yet. Man, Boeing's had a rough year. Boeing's had a rough year. I'm wondering about airlines. Airline capacity is, I don't know, between 80 and 90% fall still. International is almost non-existent. I'm wondering, and this isn't out there, but I'm wondering if airlines are going to need another investment from the federal government. Make sure they get warrants, just, to make sure it's truly an investment and not another gift. But airlines are just burning money, and there's going to be layoffs and furloughs and all of that coming. I don't think they can do it till October 1st, I think, given what was in their first package. So we will see. DoorDash just got a $15 billion valuation as they raised more cash. It is interesting to see what is going on out there. One of the things that I read a quick article on yesterday, that somebody was trying to blame the route yesterday, which I don't think is true, at least yet, but it is going to be something you and I talk about for the next several months. And that is what happens if there's a blue wave in November, right? If the Democrats take the Senate and then they take the highest office, what does that mean, right? The stock market will have to, will have to adjust to that kind of thing, right? It's not set up for that today, I don't think, but it is. It's at least in the realm of possibilities, and as a stock investor, which is something we have to think about. I just got a question, one of these little thought bubbles or whatever they're called, came up and asked about what are my thoughts of the Silicon Valley shutting down, or the Bay Area, I think was the question, shutting down again. And I don't think there's any chance of that happening. I don't think there's a chance that any city shuts down. I agree with Treasury Secretary Mnuchin that we can't shut the economy down again. Yeah, I just don't see it. We need to somehow protect the most vulnerable. We need to do preventative care, but we need the economy going. We're a consumer-based economy, and yeah, I don't see it happening. Although the Bay Area is in California, and we do have a governor that seems to think you can legislate good behavior, which I do not think. So I wouldn't put it past him. But no, I don't think it happens. I really don't. Next up, Starbucks is in the news today. Apparently, I don't know if you saw this, but I did. It came up on my Twitter feed that there was a protest or boycott. Boycott Starbucks was trending, and I'm like, why is that? What's going on now? So apparently, they have a dress code that prevented their baristas from wearing certain sets of clothing. And they've just come out this morning, so less than 24 hours later, and says, go ahead, wear your Black Lives Matters pin, your shirts, we support you, and oh, by the way, we're going to buy all of you shirts. So again, Starbucks stepping up to the moment and adjusting, to the changing feel. So they, less than 24 hours, that momentum is changed. So I think it's good for Starbucks to relent to the moment and, step up in a big way. So good for them. It looks like LA, SoCal, is finally opening up for TV and film production. That's pretty big business down there. Lots of employees. This is obviously going to help folks get back to work, right? A lot of those folks are on the unemployment line, so that will be good. We will see when the next blockbuster movie comes out, because I haven't seen any in a while. Quicken Loans plans to go IPO. This is Dan Gilbert's company. The largest mortgage lender, basically sees that the market is open. We've had several successful IPOs. Warner Music popped in my head as an example. Vroom, I think, came out this week. So Quicken Loans is like, hey, let me get some of that. Also, I don't know if you know this, but Dan Gilbert, I think he had a heart attack. He had some health event in the last 6 to 9 months. So he may be, like lots of older folks such as myself, going, hey, I need to reposition my portfolio, because I won't live forever. So it's probably a financial decision for him to take his private company to the public market. And again, largest mortgage lender out there right now. So we'll see if that goes, and it will. A couple of notable downgrades today. I'm actually a little shocked that we don't have more downgrades given where price targets are and the like. But a couple of meaningful ones. Caterpillar came out today from BMO Capital, basically saying, hey, you don't need a lot of tractors and the big equipment with what's going on. It's out a couple of quarters before that really comes back. And then Tesla actually got a couple of downgrades. I read the Morgan Stanley article, and it looks like what Morgan Stanley is saying, they may need more capital. And, need more capital means more common stock. Shoot, last time I checked, Tesla was over 900. It hit over 1,000, I think, Wednesday. So, issue stock, right? I mean, geez. Consumer sentiment came out. It was a surprise. It was estimated to be at 75. It came in at 78.9. Really, again, for me, it's not about the number. It's the trend. The trend is definitely up. We're off the March lows. And again, I do think consumers are getting better. And I think, again, last Friday's employment number, we're going to start to see if it really ripples through. And again, I'm looking for active listings, right? Or active listings. So I might reach out to some agents and brokers this weekend and see what if they see more active listings this week, because I think it is coming. Got a question here from Carson. He's asking about potential inflation. I think deflation is. I think inflation. It's going to be deflation in 2020, in my opinion. But I do think inflation is the output. Is a result of an extra $3 trillion being pushed into the economy. So yeah, inflation is going to be, the Fed's going to get their 2% inflation goal sometime in 2021, 22. It's going to be with us for a while. So I think there was another question that came up about banks and residential lending. I don't know yet. We're going to see about listings. It's a whole ecosystem. And right now, I think more banks, as in Wells Fargo, I talked about yesterday, I think they're going to still be putting more bad debt reserves on the books this next quarter. I think there's a lot of banks talking about potentially reducing their dividend, which is not typically seen as a sign of strength. It's actually a sign of weakness. So I do not see banks really opening up the full spigot for residential lending. The federal government is still there, FHA and the like. Jumbo loans, still very hard to get. And I don't see that changing. Unfortunately. What do we got? Dave and Buster's earnings announcement yesterday came in at negative $1.37 on an estimate of 85 cents. I don't know, what's that, a 40% miss, 56% drop in revenue, and their guidance wasn't all that great. But of course, on that news, the stock is up today. Go figure. Again, I talked about Hertz saying, hey guys, if you want a lot of our common stock, we're going to give you $1 billion worth. We'll see if the bankruptcy judge approves that. I've never heard of that. In all my years of watching investing, has a bankrupt company issued stock. That's got to be a sign of things coming. Party City missed both revenue and earnings expectations. But you know what? Good news. They raised $100 million in a bond offering. Man, the federal backstop of buying in the bond market is real, right? Miss on the top, miss on the bottom line. But you know what? Good news. We raised $100 million. And then Calvin Klein, parent company is PVH. Never heard of it, so I had to look it up. They came in at a loss of $3.03 on a loss expectation of $1.67. That feels like a kitchen sink quarter that I told you was coming 6 weeks ago. So in the end, it's Friday. It's interesting. The stock market's up, at least in the morning. I'm going to watch and see what happens at 1 o'clock Eastern, so 10 o'clock Pacific, and see if the professionals are just going to play with the novice investors. Frankly, they're going to do it every day until it doesn't work. They're going to bid stuff up pre-market. They're going to bid it up as the market opens, and then they're going to watch all the retail investors get excited, and they're going to sell right into it. So we will see what is going on. So just got a thought bubble as we were closing up about Starbucks closing stores. I had heard that yesterday. It looks like they are collapsing footprints. So I'm not sure it's fair to say closing stores, but I guess it is, right? They're closing, I think it was 400 full service cafes, and they're opening up, I think it was 350 kind of drive-through and takeout only, right? So Starbucks is going to be shrinking some of their footprints, which again is, people always remember the last crisis. And, this crisis for retail is you don't want gatherings. So Starbucks is going to step up, drive-through only. And takeout only. So they're going to get rid of 50% of their footprint, 60% in some of their locations. So again, I think Starbucks is doing the right thing for their business, and probably you're going to see other restaurants and cafes do the same thing. They're going to get rid of the tables, right? Why lease that space if it's bad, right? If it's a negative thing. So expect other, I don't know what you call it, retail service. I'm not sure what you would call it. Consumer. There you go. Consumer companies to do the same thing. Why have that extra foot? I mean, they pay their leases by square foot. So they're going to cut their square foot down, and all of that falls to the bottom line. They will make more earnings per share. So good for them. All right, everybody, I got lots of interviews today. I think I got one at 8, 9, and I think I got one at 1 as well. So 3 interviews today. All right, everybody, take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye.